Well, 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 the New York Knicks sure did make NBA draft night an interesting one for all New York Knicks fans. We're going to break down what happened tonight, but make sure you go down and hit that big red button because with free agency next week and the Knicks now having a lot of cap space, it is going to be one heck of a week. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that big red button right now so you can get free daily videos around our New York Knicks. The 2022 NBA draft is in the books, and the New York Knicks and Leon Rose sure did make it interesting. But first, I want to give a shout out to today's presenting sponsor, Aura, an all-in-one digital safety tool that'll help you and your family stay protected online. Keep your identity safe online because we do more online now than ever. And you can get started with a 14-day free trial when you go to aura.com/chatsports. The Knicks, they made a lot of moves. And the moves weren't really, reported at the beginning of the day, but here we are. We got all the facts now. So if you're ready to stay up to date, lock us in. Hit that big red button. Number one, the first trade. The Knicks, they traded out from the number 11 pick in round one with the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC, they received pick number 11, and they selected Ousmane Dieng. And the Knicks, they got a 2023 first-round pick that was owned by Denver, came from Oklahoma City. They also got a 2023 first-rounder that comes from Washington, and a 2023 first-rounder that comes from Detroit. All of those have heavy protections, which we'll show you in a second. Then the Knicks made a second trade, where Charlotte receives the 2023 first-round pick that the Knicks got from Denver, which came from OKC. They also got 4 second-round picks from the Knicks. And the Knicks then received the number 13 pick from Charlotte, which was Jalen Brunson, which went to the Charlotte Hornets. And we're not done. We have a third trade. Then Detroit received Kemba and Jalen Brunson, and the Knicks received a 2025 first-round pick from Detroit, which is pretty much Milwaukee's first-round pick, which is also protected. Here are all the protections on those trades. The Knicks, they got from OKC a 2023 first-rounder from Detroit. That's 1 through 18 protected through 2024, 1 through 13 and 25, 1 through 11 and 26, and 1 through 9 and 27. And the Washington first-rounder is protected 1 through 14, and then 1 through 12 in 2024, 1 through 10 in 2025, and 1 through 8 in 2026. And then the one from Denver is protected 1 through 4 in 2025. All those picks have heavy protections, which essentially mean that the Knicks most likely aren't going to get all of those picks next year. Some will fall into 2023 and then 2024. But those picks were acquired by Leon Rose as trade chips. Leon Rose is pushing all his chips into the table. He traded out of round one to clear salary cap space. He traded Kemba Walker to clear out salary cap space. The Knicks are trying to get $25 million under the salary cap to go and sign Jalen Brunson of the Dallas Mavericks. And if that doesn't work out, the Knicks have plenty of first-round picks, 4 in next year's draft, their own, Dallas, and 2 picks coming from OKC to go and make a move for a point guard. Will it be Kyrie Irving? Will it be Donovan Mitchell? Could it be DeJounte Murray? If the Knicks miss out on Jalen Brunson, I expect the Knicks to make a big-time trade for a point guard this offseason. But I'll ask this question, then we'll continue to break down what happened on draft day for the New York Knicks. Do you trust Leon Rose as the face of the Knicks organization, as the general manager, as the guy to get it right and bring the New York Knicks back? Do you trust Leon Rose? Be honest. Let me know. Type Y for yes, or you can go down and type N for no. The Knicks did actually make a pick in the draft. In round 2, pick number 44, the New York Knicks selected the guard out of Duke, Trevor Keels, 6'4" and 3/4 inch, 224 pounds. He is built like an outside linebacker. He reminds me if Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker had a baby. He had averaged 11.5 points per game at Duke this past year, 3 rebounds, about 2.5 assists, and shot 31% from 3. A little bit of a scouting report on Keels. He has a strong frame with wide shoulders that he uses to his advantage off the dribble. He's a gritty defender who could be very effective if he can improve his quickness. And he also has solid shooting form, but inconsistent results. This is a player that has done some good things at Duke. He's been inconsistent. He played 30 minutes per game, but he's a big, strong kid with a wide frame who used his strength to finish at the rim. He shot just 31% from deep at Duke, but his stroke and mechanics are solid. He's a better shooter than those numbers suggest. And I also like this pick. Keels was inconsistent at Duke, but showed flashes of impressive upside. If he had gone back to school for another year, he probably would have been a first-rounder. And just 12 months ago, he was a 5-star recruit and is still just 18 years old. Sam Vecini of The Athletic had a nice write-up on him that I felt like I should read to y'all and share some information. He said this about Keels: "I worry about how functional his shot is in terms of translating to higher volume at the next level. I would have loved to see Keels return to school and try to improve some of these things, particularly his quickness and flexibility. If teams think he can fix that, I get having more of a first-round grade on him, but I can't quite get there yet." We'll continue to break down Keels and the moves the Knicks made tonight, but we told you about Aura at the top of the show, so now let's dive into it. We all do more online now than ever, and Aura does more to keep you safe. Start a 14-day free trial at aura.com/chatsports, an all-in-one digital safety tool for the whole family. They offer family plans to protect up to 5 people. So get hooked up today. Stay safe online. You don't want anyone hacking into your bank, getting a hold of your credit card information, or all the things the hacksters do online today. You don't want that to happen to you. Get near-time, real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. Go to aura.com/chatsports. Get hooked up today with a 14-day free trial. Trevor Keels had some big-time games at Duke this past season. Against Pitt, he had 27 points. Against Kentucky, in Madison Square Garden, he had 25 points. At Clemson, had 25 points. Had games at 19 points, 19 points, 18 points. This is a player that can be a big-time player. He slipped in the draft because the inconsistencies from the floor. 41.9%, 31.2%, averaged 11 points per game, played 30 minutes per night, played a lot of minutes. He's a Tom Thibodeau player. He's gritty. He's hard-nosed. He's strong. He likes to play defense. He can create a little bit in the ISO situation. I think this was a great pick by the Knicks in the second round. But I want all Knicks fans to let me know how they felt about the pick. Rate the pick of Trevor Keels. Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being you hated the pick. You didn't want him to be a New York Knick. You got no faith in him. Rated 100 if you think Trevor Keels is going to be the next big-time player for the New York Knicks. I'm pretty high on this pick. I give it a solid B. I'll give it about an 80 to an 85. In the second round, you're looking for players that have potential. Keels has that. He was a 5-star recruit, still just 18 years old. He's scored 27 points in a game before. He's done 25 points per game. He can do it. He can score. He can defend. He's 6'4", 225, 230 pounds. Reminds me of a guy, like I said, of Kyle Lowry and PJ Tucker. He's not an elite point guard, but he does have some good flash to his game. He can get others involved. He can put it on the deck. And this is someone that's going to be a big dog on the defensive side of the court. But when I think about the whole draft for the New York Knicks, it's what happened at pick number 11 when the Knicks traded out of that pick. So my draft grade is a shrug. I don't know, because we don't know what those picks are going to become. When you trade for 3 future first-round picks, it's hard to give it a grade. I like what the Knicks did. They traded out. They didn't like the people that were available at number 11. I would have loved to go up and change this franchise's future and going and landing Jaden Ivey and making a trade and Leon Rose, the move maker, to go and do that. But it didn't happen. So they went to plan B, which was shed salary cap space. They traded Kemba Walker. They added future picks. But now all your eggs are in the basket of Jalen Brunson. But we'll talk about him in a second. But my draft grade was a shrug. It was an I don't know, a TBD. We'll see in a couple of years. Maybe if the Knicks make a big-time move for a point guard this offseason with those picks, then I'll have a better idea of what the grades were. But let me know. Grade the Knicks draft for me, A, B, C, D, or F. With what the Knicks did tonight, it's all in on Jalen Brunson. You didn't go up and make a move for Jaden Ivey. You traded out of number 11. Then you traded in for 13. Then you traded out of 13. You traded Kemba Walker. You're probably going to cut Ryan Arcidiacono. You're going to waive Taj Gibson, whose salary is not guaranteed this year. So the Knicks are going all in on Jalen Brunson. And there's ties from Brunson to the Knicks and Leon Rose. We know all about that. But was it worth trading a first-round pick to get rid of Kemba Walker and trading out of pick number 11 and going to give Jalen Brunson $25 to $30 million because that's what it's going to take because the Mavs want him back. They don't really have enough cap space to do anything else in free agency but to re-sign Jalen Brunson. It's going to be a two-team fight to bring Brunson to their team, Mavs versus the Knicks. It's going to be interesting, and that's why you should subscribe because when the NBA free agency cycle hits, we are going to keep you covered. Go down right now, hit that big red button, lock us in, turn your noties on because it is going to get wild this NBA offseason. To round out today's show, I'll ask you this question because I feel like Jalen Brunson was a bigger name and more of a focus of draft night than anybody else. Not Keels, not Trevor Keels, not the 3 first-round picks the Knicks got, not Kemba Walker. It's Jalen Brunson because that's who the Knicks have their eyes on. But do you want him on the Knicks? Is he worth $25 million per year? Sound off. Type S for sign, or you can go down and type P for pass.